So things got a little heated on the homesteading page just now, and I did want to talk about it for a minute. To the people who were offended, I want to say I'm sorry. That wasn't my intent to make you feel alienated from the page. But just a little backstory. Today I posted a picture that was not very flattering to Paul Ryan, who collaborated on a bill having to do with redefining the term rape. He collaborated with Todd Akin, who recently came to fame for his comments saying that rape does not result in pregnancy because women's bodies will shut that down, and that never it's virtually impossible for a legitimate rape to result in pregnancy. So on behalf of women everywhere, I wanted to say fuck you, and you know nothing about biology, you arrogant, entitled, stupid man. So yeah, I mean, these are just all my personal opinions, and some people said to me, this is a homesteading site, there's no place for this, and why are you posting this? I wish that you would stop getting political. My response is simple, and my feelings on that are thus. This is my page, and I made it all by myself back in April, and in those 4 months I've grown it to over 7,000 people. I post what I consider to be quality content, and most of it is quite on topic. From time to time, I will say things that you don't maybe love or don't have to do with, do-it-yourself home laundry detergent. I love all those things too, but I'm a political being, and from time to time I need to use this platform to express myself, and I appreciate everyone who lets me do so. Maybe I should just talk about my politics so you have a chance to get out now if you're not in agreement. Hi, I'm Laura. I am a young, green, liberal type, and I have an acerbic wit, and I believe in feminism and the environment, and advocating on behalf of those who are oppressed, whether it's people in the inner city, kids who have access to liquor stores aplenty but can't get groceries, whether it's battery hens who are stuffed into cages no bigger than your laptop for 5 years at a time and exploited every day and then killed as soon as they stop laying eggs. Or maybe people in the Sudan. I would like to talk about these things because it's not always pleasant, but I think it's necessary. And I think it's my right to speak out about it. And it's your right to not be here. So if you're unable to ignore these posts that I only put out there, once every few weeks, I'll kind of get off topic and stray into things that I think are important. But for the most part, it is homesteading related. If you're unable to ignore that, maybe you should find a page that you feel more comfortable in. I'm not going to be offended. So, that being said, I was a fan of those other homesteading pages. The ones I'm talking about, the ones with 200, 300,000 fans, those ones, the huge Goliaths. They offended me often. They posted lots of subjective material. That's why I ended up making my own page, because I was sick of seeing religious content, advocating the military, slaughter posts. This is how you kill a rabbit and this is how you butcher bacon. I was so unbelievably tired of that. So I left and I created my own page, and that gives me the right to talk the way I want to talk on my page. So, I don't think there's any place for Jesus on my page. I want to be inclusive, and I think that that involves not talking about religion, whether it's Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, Taoism, atheism. That's your choice. It's your preference. It's not my business, so I shy away from that. And I'm definitely not going to post anything about our United States Army. Getting into my personal philosophies, I think it's not a great thing that we spend trillions of dollars a year of money that we don't have in order to illegally occupy other countries in order to obtain oil. Killing civilians and jailing people on suspicions for 8 years who didn't actually do anything. To me, it doesn't really make sense to say we're going to reward people for snitching on their neighbors and you don't even have to have evidence. You get a big bunch of money for saying, I think David did something. Yeah. Okay, so you get your money, and David goes and sits in Guantanamo for 6 years, getting tortured every day, and he didn't do anything. Nothing. And when you have that kind of mentality, it really hits home, because that means that anyone could be taken into custody. Anyone. It could be you or your uncle or your best friend. If it's possible for someone to be jailed having not done anything, there's something wrong with that. And for Obama to run on a platform of closing Guantanamo, and then, 4.5 years later, he's renovating it with a $40 million budget to make the complex more expansive. Like, it's just, it boggles my mind. I don't even know how to express it. So I am not a fan of the way that the country is being run. I am not a Democrat or a Republican. I think we just have a whole mess of problems. I think there's something wrong when we're giving subsidies to Chevron and tax exemptions to corporations. Meanwhile, they're making billions of dollars in record profits, hosting layoffs, giving people minimum wage. Healthcare companies are dropping people for getting sick. I think that there's something wrong, and I don't appreciate rich, usually older, white, out of touch, entitled men telling people what to do with their bodies and trying to dictate reproductive care and health. And I don't think it's appropriate for these people to say who and who can't get married. As a straight woman, I think it's utterly disgusting that I have more rights than anyone else. I don't remember ever taking a test to show that I have marriage competency or that I'm going to uphold the sanctity of marriage. I think it's gross that I could go and get a 72-hour marriage to someone on a whim just because I feel like it and because their parts happen to look different from my parts. It's like we're in the 50s. It's ridiculous. We're 2012 and we're still arguing about this. Who can adopt kids and do a good in the world, and who can, have a legitimate marriage? Like, separate but equal, go get a civil union? Really? Really? And it's just, there are so many problems in the world. Like, Obama signed into law the horse slaughter of wild horses and the Keystone Pipeline and NDAA. And we have so many people in this country who are happy to stick their head in the sand and just, that's not my style, so I will be talking about it. And since it's my page, I will continue to enjoy the freedom to say what I like to a wide audience. I've gotten 7,000 members all on my own in the past less than 4 months, and I think I deserve to be able to talk to them, just as they deserve to be able to leave if they don't like it. So, yeah, in regards to abortion, one more time, fuck you, Todd. I don't even like abortion. I don't think I would ever get one, but it is not my place or your place to try to dictate to someone that they will be going through with their pregnancy and being a parent for the rest of their life. That is ridiculous. It's always so funny how these guys aren't fans of abortion, and yet they hardly ever advocate for birth control. Like, if it's that important to you, provide better sex education and condoms and the pill. Stop fighting Planned Parenthood, who makes it possible for people to not get pregnant and therefore not need an abortion. I think that if someone can look inside themselves and make that decision, that difficult, complex, personal decision that they do not want to go to term and they don't want to be a parent for the rest of their life, which is the biggest commitment you could ever make in this world, that is a responsible, respectable decision, and it's theirs, and it's private, and it doesn't have to do with you. Everyone is just so wrapped up in these conservative religious philosophies, and this country was founded on separation of church and state, and we don't have that anymore, and I think it's sad. They want to argue about the dumbest things ever. Meanwhile, they are putting GMOs in our food, and we're spilling oil in the Gulf. What is this world coming to? People are denying climate change and going to the movies and just, driving around, just Anyway, my page, my stuff to talk about. Hopefully you agree with me, and it's just, it doesn't even happen that often, really. It's like once every few weeks I decide to post something about the rates that animals are being killed. By the way, since I started making this video 10 minutes ago, 40,000 chickens have been slaughtered. 40,000. So check out the animal kill count below. I will post that. Just open yourself up to being a little more compassionate and think about other people's comforts as well as your own. It's nice to speak out for those who have less of a platform and less privilege, and I'm happy to do that. And I really say thank you to all the people who support me in doing that and do it themselves. And it's worth it. This world is not going to get the help it needs if we all just ignore the problems because they're uncomfortable or they don't seem flashy and exciting. You have to grit your teeth, get down to it, offend a few people, stick up for what you believe in, speak the truth even if you're a minority, even if it's uncomfortable. That's how stuff gets better. So I love you guys, and I will talk to you very soon.